we go back to the holding environment, right? This is where we reset ourselves, where we come back as we transition from one topic to another. And I thought there is so much that has been said about the holding environment, but built by Bill and Susan. And knowing that I was going to offer some words today, I went back and listened to what Bill and Susan had to say last week. Now, I love Bill and Susan, as all of you do, and they are so practical. I said, let me go in with a beginner's mind and see what I can hear differently. And I don't think I heard anything entirely different, but I heard something that is really important. My main takeaway from Bill's talk that I want to bring forth today is that, the beginning, the middle, and the end is about holding environment. It's about holding ourselves. It's about being able to stop, come in for a landing, and just calm ourselves. Being able to just relax, not have to rush and chase the next desire or let the mind go wild. And it's hard. And I appreciated that he said it's hard because I don't know about you all, but my mind is pretty chatty and I have to catch myself over and over. And I'm like, I've been doing this for 20 years. Shouldn't my mind be more quiet now? But listening to Bill offered me a remind that it's okay. And we come back to hold ourselves moment by moment by moment. Then I heard Susan, and I like this yin and yang that Bill and Susan do for me because I see Bill as more emphasizing the qualities of the mind sometimes, while Susan really helps us come back to the body. So in her talk, she was talking about coming back home and starting there. And I've talked about this before here, the physical holding environment, right? How are the spaces where we are dwelling? Are we feeling welcome, right? By the things that we have in our walls, by the pets that we may have, by the order that we bring into that space, because that physical environment is going to help us relax. So I myself are thinking, what can I offer that is a little bit new? And maybe this is not entirely new, but it's a way of looking at holding ourselves via the four establishments of mindfulness. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with the teachings on mindfulness as described in the Sutra of the four establishments of mindfulness. I love that as a model to understand our reality, our dimensions, right? So the first establishment is the body, the physical body. Coming back to our breath is the first step in practicing mindfulness, being in our body, breathing. Now, how easy is that? I don't know, but sometimes for me, it's hard, right? I'm like, okay, let's unwind, let's be here. And I notice that my breath is short. It's up here. And I need to remind myself to just open up the body, right? That's the first level of giving ourselves room to breathe. It's okay. And when we find a quiet space to sit and gather like we are right now as a sangha, we can allow the presence of sangha to let us relax. We are safe right now, right? If we made it here, we are safe. So how about letting our body know that we are safe? Now, at any moment, we always have our body, even if our mind is engaged in thinking about the past, the present, or the future. But in this body, how can I hold myself better with the things that we eat, right? What are we consuming? What are the teas, the waters, the foods that nourish us? What are those activities? A morning shower, a morning stretch? What are the things that make us feel at home in our own body? And they're different, like Susan said, for all of us. I know sometimes nature is a good one for all of us, or having a nice warm cup of coffee or tea, but it varies. We all have little rituals, stretching rituals, prayers, massages, whatever helps you start your day. So take a moment to just think, what helps you feel comfortable in your body? What holds you? A blanket, maybe? an extra cushion, right? Let's be aware of those things and celebrate them. Personally, one thing that I it's my ritual, and I think honestly is my favorite practice, is taking a mindful shower. I just love showers. There's something about the water, the temperature, the sound of the water, the privilege of having access to clean water, right? And at the perfect temperature, and a shampoo and a soap that we chose that has a particular scent. It is so conducive to being present and being appreciative for that moment. And this is the one ritual that for me holds me in the morning and then holds me at night. And I'm sharing it so that hopefully you can think about those little private personal rituals that you have. So that in this new year with the new energy, you can put your self care at the top of your to do list. We have to put our own masks first for ourselves and so that we can be there for others if we want to, which most of us do, right? We want to do, if we're followers of the Dharma teachings, if we admire the Buddha, we want what's best for us and for others, to reduce suffering in us and others for the benefit of all sentient beings. So let's start with us, right? Think about something that you enjoy. Maybe it's a shower or a bath. Don't take it for granted. Make much of it, like Susan says. Make much of it, whether it's in the morning or at night. What about that coffee break or tea break? Can we really slow down to be there with our tea and be mindful of that? So there's three other establishments. There's the body, then there's the feeling tone, that like and dislike. Then there's the mind, the mental states, and the objects of mind. I am not going to get into those right now because we don't have enough time, but I would like us to think about the body because it's the material reality that we all share, right? We have the senses. So let's take a moment to just appreciate this body and remember what helps each one of us to take care of this body.
Confirmed, dear. Wow. But we have till
Somebody got unmuted. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, let's think about what holds the body and what holds the mind. So I was going to offer two things today. One, the shower, just to remind you to share something personal. I love showers. Maybe some of you do. What is the one activity that you can easily do at home that you know is soothing, right? I sharing a little bit more of a personal story. I went on vacation back to Colombia this holiday. I was born in Colombia. I've been living in the US for 30 years. But I had all high school friends that invited us to go, and it was beautiful. Honestly, I was a little bit afraid. There's the news and political things going on in South America, but I thought there's always something going on. Let me just go back and be nourished by the mountains and the rivers and cousins and old friends. And we came back on Saturday, January 3rd. And as we were doing our checking at the airport in Bogota, my son lets me know what's happening in the next door country, Venezuela. And I just felt that moment of fear, like, oh shoot, yeah, maybe, I just feared, and there was news about planes being canceled and a little bit of uncertainty. But I remembered, I could feel the tension rising. And I thought, this is a moment to practice. This is a moment to practice. I can feel the tension. I can feel the racing thoughts. I cannot take a shower at the middle of the airport. What can I do? 101, let's go back to the breath. Let's go back to the breath and trust. Trust. Just trust whatever it is. Of course, my mind was racing. What if my plane gets stopped? What if we can make it back to the yes? Blah, 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 blah. At that moment, I took a breath and I thought, what's holding me? I just asked that to myself. I do this since I met Bill and Susan. What's holding me? What can hold me? And I was there with my husband and my son. My little tribe, right? My small tribe, husband and son. And I was like, well, whatever happens, we're together. Can I rest in this? Can I rest in having an uncle and a dear friend just a phone call away? And by breathing into that and by seeing the support of community, I was able to calm down. And thankfully, our flight left. Everything was fine. A snowstorm delayed my way all the way up here to Asheville. But as soon as I came, it was 1 a.m., but I was like, I need a long bath. That's what I need to fully arrive and cleanse and let go and relax the muscles and the mind. And in that bath, I did my informal breathing practice. It was 2 a.m. I know I was not going to sit another half an hour in silence. I was beat, but I incorporated that. And I'm a big fan of informal practice. What helps you breathe more deeply? Is it tea? Is it a shower? Is it calling a friend? My invitation to all of you is to think about those things. What holds you? Maybe make a list of 5 things: watching a sunset, taking a shower, saying a prayer, and keep that in a post it note so that the next time you feel a little fear from news that you heard or anything that may happen, you can remember what holds me. And you can hold on to that as you're able to unwind and breathe more deeply until the next time something shakes you up. Because something is always going to shake us up. But it's our practice to be able to breathe, unwind, and relax. So thank you for your kind attention.